Hello guys! It's been a couple of weeks already since I got the parts for the second overdrive, the one that we had to weld here, remember? And I was waiting for new bearings and stuff, and I couldn't assemble it for a long time. And then the parts came, but meanwhile I got into my GT6, and yeah, this was sitting for a couple of weeks, and now I already forgot how to assemble it. So I think I'm gonna have to rewatch my videos about the other one, and yeah, but I decided to assemble it today so we can have one project finished, because I have too many on the go. I have even another project here that I'm not filming, but it's a tier 3 engine rebuild, so yeah, lots of projects. I want to complete at least one. And of course I'm not gonna show you everything because I've already done it before, so I'm gonna show you just briefly what I'm doing here, and if something interesting happens then I'm gonna show it to you too. So someone asked me before, don't I pre-lube the bearings? Well, I don't think I need to, because they are lubricated already. They have some thick stuff on them. I think that's assembly lube. So I don't need to pre-lube them, I think. Plus, I'm not running the overdrive before I put oil in it, so I think that's perfectly fine. Okay, so we need to find our washer here. Alright, so the washer that goes here, you know, is the one that determines the end float of the annulus. So the original washer that comes here is 155 thou. There are washers available between 146 and 181, I think. So I'm gonna use the original one first, and we're gonna measure the end float, and if we have to, we can replace this. I have more washers there with different thicknesses, so we will decide which washer we wanna put there. Okay, this can be installed. Alright, so now we have the washer inside, like we said. Yeah, and now it's time for the second bearing, but don't forget this washer. Wow. That's all the way in, and this spins perfectly, so that should be good. So here we need to install the seal, of course, but just to check the end play, we're not going to install the seal yet. We're going to put just temporarily this. Okay, there's this washer here and the nut. So we're going to tighten this nut to 100 foot-pounds, and then we're going to measure the end play. So it spins nice, which means we don't have too much preload, but still we're going to measure the end play and see how much is it. So I have my magnetic base set on the annulus and the dial gauge on the housing. And you see when I spin it, it doesn't go too much up and down unless it goes in the hole, so that's fine. So perfect. Now I'm gonna set it to 0. And now if I push it up, I have about 4 tau, and if I push it down, I have another tau or 2, so I'm right where I want to be. I want to be between 5 and 10 tau. So my end play is perfect. And if you remember here on this overdrive, because of the track, when I was doing this, when I tested it, it was going click and then clunk and then click and then clunk, and it was going up and down. So here I am perfect. Alright, so now we can remove this and install the seal. Because of this crack, I'm afraid that the seal might not seal very well here on the sides, so I'm gonna put just a little bit of silicone only around here, just a little bit. Yeah, usually you don't need to do that, but in this particular case it's a good idea because of the crack. And now I can put permanently the washer, and I'm gonna torque it again to 100 pounds, and I'm gonna put the cotter pin. So next is the unidirectional clutch, and before we forget, we're gonna install our washer there. And the washer that goes there is the one that is 123 tau there, and I'm gonna put some oil so it stays there. When it's oily, it's hard to remove it. And now I'm going to start assembling the unidirectional clutch. So be careful. This goes there. There's a little hole here, like that. So this goes inside this hole. This is still here, and now we can put it in. And this needs to go like this here. So this is still in the hole, and the other end of the spring, you don't see it very well probably, but it's also still inside the hole. And now I can position this here, and we can start inserting our rollers. So now I'm going to make sure, yeah, everything is fine in the back. And now this has to go inside there. So make sure the washer is there, put your finger inside. Slide it in. That's it. So now it spins counterclockwise, but if you want to spin it clockwise, it doesn't. It tries to turn the annulus. So that's how it is supposed to work. Spins counterclockwise, locks clockwise. That's a good tool. Again, everything I'm using here, like special tools, and everything I'm doing, assembling and disassembling, measuring and stuff, it already has been done in the previous episodes of this playlist, and it's been explained in detail. So here, if you don't find whatever you need, go back in the playlist and for sure you're gonna find what you need. Alright, so we put the assemble the annulus to the side, and now we start assembling this main body here, and we'll start with accumulator piston. And there's this little piston inside which has rings, and these rings, if they're not good, you gotta change them. Sometimes they break, but these ones are good, so I'm just gonna use them. I'll put some oil inside. I already changed this O-ring, so now lubricate it, and it can go inside. Okay, So now on the oil pump body we have this hole which is for the bowl, and this hole needs to match this hole here. I don't know if you see it. So it is important that we position it in this way, and for this I have two rods. Again, my hole is this side. I have two rods that help me guide the pump. These two rods are sharpened a little bit, so they can go inside the screw holes and keep it straight. And now I can tap the pump in. Right, and now we can put the little screws here. Accumulator. Alright, here we can put the bow, and here is where the small bow goes. I got new bows. So it goes in this hole, right? So it can fall right into the hole of the oil pump. Then we have a plunger and a spring. And finally we have the plug with its copper washer. With that, this valve is finished here. Alright, so next we're going to install the pistons. So we need to change their O-rings. You know what, let's do the test assembly and measure the end float of the sun gear. So the planet carrier has its own timing. The gears need to be timed one to each other and to the sun gear. So each of them has a mark here. This mark is here. On this one the mark is here, and on this one the mark is here. So this is how they need to be positioned, perpendicular to the center axis, if we can tell, perpendicular in a circle, but anyways. So the sun gear needs to go right in between them, the other way, and they need to stay in this orientation. So I put it in, and now I'm gonna double check. So this mark is still here, this mark is still here, and this mark is still here. So they are right where they need to be. I can drop this inside the annulus now. Okay, they went. So now with my dummy shaft, if I go through the sun gear and through the unidirectional clutch, I should be able to spin it counterclockwise, like that. If I turn it clockwise, it should lock. And it does. You see, now it locked to the annulus. This way, the planets spin around the sun gear, but when I go clockwise, they lock to the annulus. So that's how it needs to be. Alright, so we are ready for temporarily assembly here, so we can measure the end play of the sun gear. So how it normally goes is first the sliding clutch goes there, and then the brake plate, but we said we're not going to install the sliding clutch now, so we have access to the sun gear. That won't affect our measurement. Then goes the brake plate after the sliding clutch, and it goes only one way. If you put it the other way around, the wrong way, it's going to be too loose, you see, so it needs to go this way. There's no gasket here, under and above the brake plate, and then comes the main casting, but there are two washers here, one washer and one spacer, and this spacer is adjustable too. So with this spacer we adjust the end play of the sun gear, and it must be between 878 and 114 tau, and there are different thicknesses available, skipping 5 tau I think, and this particular one is the one that came out of this overdrive. Is about 107 tau I think, like 109 tau, so that's almost the thickest one. Wow, there's only one more available thickness. Anyway, so this will have to come here, and first comes the spacer, first comes the washer, and then the spacer. But to make it more easy, I'm gonna slide my half of my dummy shaft. The other half is inside already, and I'm gonna put the spacers on the shaft, like this, the spacer and the washer, and now I can assemble the two parts together. I'm using soft hammer so I don't damage the surface here. Alright, so now I have to tighten the bolts here to make sure it is closed properly, and then I can measure the sun gear inside. Right now, so you can see the sun gear inside, and we can reach now. I will figure out how. I had a trick which I forgot, but I can always watch my own video and see what I was doing. So we can reach there and measure the end play of the sun gear, but for some reason I don't feel an end play. There is some end play I think, but it needs to be between 14 and 20 tau. I think there's not more than 3-4 tau end play here. 14 to 20, that needs to be, you know, you can feel it. So I'm gonna take it apart and I'm gonna put thinner spacer. By default it must be 90 there. Maybe I'm gonna put the next one 95 or something like that, and we will go from there. So we have this one which is 101. Actually I have two of them. One was the one that came out of the other overdrive, I guess. Yeah, so 101 we're gonna put, and we're gonna measure with that. Oh wow, this is huge now, but let's see. I'm gonna tighten the bolts. Alright, so seriously I went and watched my own video to remember how did I have my setup, and I set it up. So now we have the 101 tau spacer there, and let's see what's my end play here. Yeah, 15 tau, so that's where we want to be. So that's where I'm gonna leave it, and of course now I have to disassemble it, install the sliding clutch, put a gasket maker here, but yeah, we're gonna leave the 101 tau spacer there. Yeah, let's start with here. Take it out. Right, so try to assemble the accumulator system, and remember to do this inside, and do this, and this thing. And now it's uncovered, and this will so just like that. Alright, so we have again our setup here with the electrical motor. I mounted a pulley at the back of the transmission, and we have the pressure gauge installed, and I still don't have the solenoid and the lever here. I haven't done anything with the electrical switches, but first I want to make sure that the overdrive operates manually, that the pressure is good, and if that's the case, then I'm gonna continue with the electrical parts. So this is very important here. I make sure I'm not in reverse, you know, because if I operate the overdrive in reverse, you know what's gonna happen. So I made sure that I am in neutral, and we're gonna check now to see what pressure we're gonna have and if the overdrive is gonna operate manually or not. All right, ready to fire it up. Started going. I got scared for a moment it's not gonna build up pressure, but started going and it doesn't stop. Oh, perfect. It stopped at 350. That's fine. 350 is good. So I'm gonna operate it manually now to see if it is gonna operate. The moment of truth, yes. And as expected, the pressure went a little bit down, and now it's building up again. Oh, it went even higher now. Now it's 380, 390. Okay, probably there's still more air inside. Yeah, it moves. 390. It goes up and down for some reason. Alright, and now disengage. I'll try again. Maybe there's still air inside the system, that's why it's going up and down. I don't know. But it operates, which is good. Wow. Wow, so it runs perfect. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so now we can do the electrical part. We can check the switches, we can install the solenoid and the lever. Right, let's see. Now when this closes, it's gonna show me zero resistance. Okay. So let's see, I don't remember, this one should be the reverse, I think. So we go to reverse, and nothing happens except my multimeter falls down. Funny. Yeah, that must be the reverse. Or, no, we went to fourth, third, nothing happens. Second. Yeah! So it looks like those cut-off switches don't do anything, but when you look closer to them, some of them have like 3 or 4 fiber washers underneath, so for some reason they've been lifted, so this one is damaged for sure. So I have a new one for this one, but I didn't expect the other two not to work, so I have only one new. Where did I put it? But I know for sure that this one works because this is the one that came out of the TR4 transmission. I replaced all of the switches there just in case, and now I have this one that works. So if I manage to bring back to life one of these two, that's gonna be great. So let me see what's going on here. This one I know it's loose. So this one has 2 fiber washers. I don't know why are they raised so much, but how they work is there's on the rod inside there's a little thing that sticks up and presses this button, and when this button is pressed, that's how it operates. But if it's raised so much, of course it's not gonna work. So let's see first of all if the switch itself is working. So no. So this switch is gone. So this one is dead too. Okay, let me test the one that I took out. Where did I put it? Here. Okay, this one works. See, when I press the button, it works. Alright, so we're going to use this one for first and second. We're going to use the new one. I know I need to put fiber washer there. I'm just going to put it there. I'm going to use the new one for third and fourth. And I'm going to leave the one for reverse for now. I'm just going to close it with this because it's not important, but I will take a note that I need to buy a new one for the reverse. So I'm going to install fiber washers here and I'm going to test them. First, nothing happens, which is good. Second, okay, it's working. Neutral. Third, now we need here, sorry. So we need to move here. So yeah, it works on third, neutral. Let's go again, third. Perfect. Neutral. Fourth. Perfect. Okay, so these two switches work. This one needs to be replaced. I'm not gonna run wiring now because this transmission is gonna be installed on the car maybe in 1 year. So okay, so let's install the solenoid now and see how it works with the solenoid. Shouldn't forget our collar here. And then the lever. So I'm gonna try first to adjust it with the method with the drill bit, and hopefully it's gonna work. If it doesn't, then we're gonna have to pull out dial gauges and stuff, and you know how it works. But hopefully it's gonna work with the drill bit method, the adjustments. Alright, so the solenoid is installed. This is loose, I still haven't tightened it here, and I just tested it and it works. Works perfect. So the method with the drill bit, you know, you see this hole in the casting, so you line up the hole on the lever with the hole on the casting. To make sure they stay there, you just shove a drill bit there. And now we go on the other side, and on this side now we can either push this up all the way or we can operate it. Well, I prefer to operate it so my both hands are free. So just make sure this doesn't touch there. And now with the solenoid operated, you see this still has a little bit of movement here. So you make sure this is pushed all the way down so it touches the bottom flange here of the solenoid. So when it's pushed down in this position, we can tighten the nut, and that's it. And we hope it works. Okay, that's tight. Now don't forget to remove the drill bit from there. Here, removed, and now we can see how it operates. Perfect. So the method with the drill bit worked perfectly, and we don't need any other adjustment. So now there's only one thing left. I want to check the ratio, the reduction ratio. So I'm going to bring my RPM meter. Alright, so I'm going to put it in fourth gear. So third, fourth is this one. So this is fourth gear. And now I'm gonna run it, and I'm gonna try first without the solenoid engaged, so without the overdrive. The ratio should be 1:1 on both sides. So let's see. So that's 1076, 1077 RPM. So exactly the same. Okay, let's engage the solenoid now. So let's see what we have now. So now we have 888. 888. We know that we have 1077 on the other side. Let me just double check. Perfect. So 1077 divided by 888 equals 1.2128. That's our ratio, so it works perfectly. So that's it, guys. The second overdrive is already also done. It passed all tests and it's ready to be installed in the car, but the car is, let me show you. The car is in this condition still, so it's gonna take a while before it goes inside that car, but we know that the overdrive is ready. So that's gonna be the end of this video series, but you know I have many more projects on the go. I have TR6s, I have Spitfires, I have GT6s on the go, so you can look through the playlists on my channel and you can see what else is there. You can also find me in Facebook. My Facebook page is called Rusty Beauties and my website is www.rustybeauties.com. You can find also some interesting information and pictures and stuff about my projects as well. There is a blog there as well. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned. Bye.